Somebody asked me some time ago, they said, Pastor, man, you used to do a whole bunch of preaching and teaching here on YouTube. And of course now you're, of course I got mortar mix all over my arms and everything else down there working. But anyway, you do a lot of preaching and teaching on YouTube and stuff. What happened? And I said, well, ain't nothing really happened. I mean, y'all have to understand, the outreach is expanding, and I have a whole lot more people that listen now than did last year. And they follow the ministry greatly. I mean, they follow me every Friday night from 7 p.m. until we're done, Central Standard Time. I have a live, almost 3-hour radio broadcast where I answer all different types of questions and phone calls. Then we have Sabbath service on this website behind me right here, where you can actually view our services live every Sabbath at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Then I have another radio broadcast, and then I do Sunday night at 7 p.m. And then we have scripture study on Tuesday at 7 p.m. And Brother Jermaine on a Straightway Tech team along with CG, if you go to my YouTube page, they post every single service. That's not including all the interviews that I end up doing, the places that I go to speak. And I can go on and on and on. So if you want to hear the word, it's there. It's just that I actually use this outlet as a means to speak to the people on short notice. But I tell you what, there was something on my mind, and I'll go ahead and I'll talk about this subject just for a moment, all right? Just for a moment. We're going to talk about judge and judging. Judge and judging. Because most of us have the wrong understanding about judging. Most of us come from a Christian background. I'm not a Christian. I'm an Israelite. I'm a Hebrew. But most of us come from a Christian background, and of course we have been sown perspectives into our hearts and false doctrines about certain things that we choose to believe simply because they told it to us. But let's go ahead and deal with this. Matthew chapter 7, verse 1. And the words of the Messiah reads, Jesus Christ says, judge not that ye be not judged. Did you hear that? Now let's stop there for a moment. It's not telling you to not judge. It's telling you don't judge if you don't want to be judged. Read it again. Judge not that you be not judged. Well, what is the reason for it? Matthew 7 verse 2. For with what judgment ye judge. See, that's implying, is letting you know that verse 1 was telling you that doesn't exclude you from judging. It just says, judge not that you be not judged. So if you are going to judge, you better be sure that you're going to be judged. Now, it says, for with judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again. That means that whatever level or measurement you judge somebody by, just as sure as the law of sowing and reaping and the law of gravity is in effect, that same measure that you judge is going to be meet back to you again. Sometimes people judge unmerciful. And I mean, sometimes when people are angry and upset, they judge. Other people, they just judge with no reason whatsoever at all, not expecting that just as sure as I'm sitting here today, and just as sure as they're sitting there judging, that whatever way you judge and whatever manner you judge is going to be meet back to you again in a great measure. Don't sit up there and condemn somebody for adultery and then you turn around and commit adultery, because I'm telling you, man, they're going to hang you out to dry. So, and don't sit up there and condemn somebody of being a drunkard, and then you get caught being a drunkard, man, you're going to get hung out to dry. And you're going to find out that people are not going to be merciful to you whatsoever at all. Then it says in verse 3, and why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but consider not the beam that is in our own eye? Is that not the universal problem that we're having today? Is that everybody can see everything that is wrong with everybody else, and nobody can finger what's wrong with them. That's the reason why that we have a nation of hypocrites today. Because everybody is, man, we are quick to make judgments on people who we don't know. We don't even know them, or things that we personally don't like. But boy, as soon as it comes back to you, you don't like that, do you? Then it says, look at this. Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote. Let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and Behold, a beam is in their own eye. Look at it, it says, thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam that is in our own eye, and then thou shalt see clearly to cast out the mote that is in our brother's eye. And then it says this, and give not that which is holy unto dogs, and neither cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under feet and turn and rend you again. Now, think about this for a second. Sometimes people are judging, and they don't realize that a lot of things that they are judging people for, and they actually hate people for what they're doing, that they are actually condemning their own selves because they may not be doing the same thing in that particular area that the other person is doing, but they are doing something similar that is just right along the same lines of what these other people are doing. So therefore, most people are blinded to their own character and blinded to their own nature. And people hate truth, literally hate truth, because the one thing that preaching does is it brings about conviction. And people hate conviction. As a matter of fact, they fight against conviction because conviction is telling you that change is needed. And when you're right in your own eyes, the last thing you're going to entertain is the notion to change. That's the reason why people don't want to hear preaching. That's why they say, you know, ignorantly. Two things I never talk about. There's politics and religion. Well, in that case, you don't ever talk about nothing then, do you? Yeah, but hey, following the words of Messiah, a lot of times I don't get on here preach and teach on YouTube nowadays, even though I do it from that time to time and now and then. It's because I take to heart what he said in Matthew 7:6. Give not that which is holy unto dogs. And of course, you want to see a bunch of barking dogs come out and start preaching the word. Boy, them dogs will come out, religious dogs, atheist dogs, homosexual dogs. Man, you'll see dogs everywhere. Alternative lifestyle dogs, sinful dogs. You'll see dogs come out and they'll bark everywhere. I often said, if you take a big old rock, I got a herd of cattle out here, a herd of cows, all right? You take a rock and you throw that big old rock and you hit that cow, the one that goes moo, that is the one that you just got finished hitting. Same with the word. Or if you take a rock and throw it off into a pack of dogs, the one that goes, guess what? You just hit that dog, didn't you? So that's what the word does. And the word fingers you and it hits you. And that's the reason why people don't want to hear preaching and teaching, because it demands a change. And most people would rather run from the truth and hide from the truth rather than even considering the possibility that they could be wrong in order to change. Because to change means I would have to admit that I'm wrong, and I'm not about to do that because I live my life in luxury of saving face, even though I'm miserable. And I'm going to stay that way because I got my dignity and my pride to hold on. Well, if you have that type of perspective, enjoy life. Have a good time because you're going to spend a long time paying for it. And that's the truth. And that's the truth straightway.